Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. I want to share with you something that has happened to me several times, but lately was so profound, and I wanted to share it with all of you listening. I went to my favorite place, and I was fishing, and as I'd reel in, I'd feel, and I use braided line and a very sensitive graphite rod, and what those two things together help me to do is feel what's going on with my lure. So as I'd be reeling it in, all of a sudden I'd feel everything stop, and I'd feel this tunk, this tick, and I'd be ready within a fraction of a second to set the hook because I use single hooks, and nothing. And this was happening over and over, and I'm thinking, am I hitting carp? Is my lure going through, and there's so many carp, great big carp in the water, that it's hitting their backs and it's stopping and it feels like a strike? Maybe that's what's happening. But as time went on, and as the day progressed, those bumps that I was feeling, I can call it bump in the day or bump in the night, these bumps became more extended. And the end of those bumps became a fish that was at the end of my hook. In other words, these bumps were fish coming up, but they were bumping the lure. They weren't really opening their mouth and hitting it. I think they were bumping it with their nose. And I think fish do this if they're not really, really aggressive at some point, but they see these things going by them. A lot of times they'll come to investigate. They don't have hands. They can't reach out and touch it to see what it is. So they go up and they might bump it with their mouth closed to see if they can find out what it is. And I think this was happening over and over. I'd never seen a day where it happened so much. In other words, I might have 10 bumps and not one really what I would consider strike where I've hooked up. And then as it got a little warmer, as the day progressed, the bumps turned into strikes, and I started catching fish. And I think it's important to realize that fish behavior can be so much more complex than sometimes we realize. And one day they might open their mouth up and they might actually inhale the bait within a fraction of a second, and you'll be hooking them deep in a dangerous way. Another day, you might catch all your fish hooked on the side of the mouth. And another day, you might just feel the bumps. And that's what I felt for a couple days straight. But with it all, it still was a heck of a lot of fun. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.